Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Pisces, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Pisces, I hope that you are well. These readings are general, but they also have a little bit of a theme to them in that they're all about what your dreams are communicating to you at this time. I had a pretty intense dream that kind of shook me. I would say that it was somewhat of a nightmare, even though nothing overtly bad happened. It was the feeling. So I thought, it's maybe there's a lot of intense dreams happening right now. So this is trying to see what your spirit guides want to say about it. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The Dream Decoder deck for the overall energy, and the Mystic Mondays Tarot. For the tarot portion of your readings, quick reading today. Angels, Spirits, Guides. Is this the card that you want? I'm going to go with it. The word is family. I'm not going to necessarily read everything on the back for you because I'm going to allow the tarot to clarify it. But you can see here, I mean, everybody seems to be kind of a strange composition. Everybody's in their own separate space. I know this is supposed to be a couch, but it almost looks like a box. Almost like we're in the state of moving. Everyone's facing each other, but I can't get over this sense of separation between all of the elements. Probably also because there's no real there's no delineation of a floor. It's just kind of it's like everybody's kind of floating. Maybe your dreams have been about family members lately. I feel a disconnect between. Could be one of those situations where you're dreaming about your family, but you can't speak to them. Have you ever had dreams like that, where you can't speak to them? They're there, right? And it's not because they've passed away or anything like that. It's more about, it's your dream, so you're kind of dictating the action. And yet anytime you try to engage with somebody in your dream, it's like they're not hearing you. Spirit is showing me an image of this topic that was brought up between me and a coworker the other day of we were listening to, or we were talking about the telepathy tapes, which if you haven't listened to that podcast, it's really amazing. It's all about this research that has been done on autistic children and adults who have been, at least the ones that they researched, have this intense and really palpable telepathic ability with their mothers. But they have reported visiting this place with other autistic people, this place in another dimension called the Hill. It's the place where they all gather, where there's no constriction of their physicality. They go, they share ideas, they learn from one another, they commune in this place. So it's almost as if your dream state, Spirit is giving me that idea of your dream state being a meeting place for you and certain family members that you may have telepathic abilities with. You all meet in the same kind of setting, but you are kind of all in that setting, but in your own timeline or in your own dreams. So you're not really interacting with each other. You see each other, but you're not interacting. Very, very specific. Or it could just be a situation in your 3D life that involves your family that has been preoccupying your thoughts. I'm going to get 3 cards for the base spread, which have all now just popped out, and 1 final card for advice from Spirit. I'm not going to take clarifiers today unless it's really necessary. It's just a quick reading. I'm trying to make my readings a little bit shorter just because I find that people don't have a lot of time. Like when I watch tarot, I could watch it for hours and hours and hours, and indeed I have. Some of my favorite readers, they can go an hour and a half in a reading, but some people don't have that kind of time, so just trying to make things a little bit shorter. Let me know in the comments if you prefer longer or shorter readings. The first card out, King of Pentacles. So I'm going to show you all 3 cards. King of Pentacles in the upright, the Emperor in the reverse, the Queen of Swords in reverse. So if we're talking about family, you had 3 people show up in your primary spread. So that kind of confirms to me that these are family members, okay? So King of Pentacles describes somebody who is very financially abundant. Let me see this person. He's adjusting his cuffs or his cufflinks, right? All put together. Anytime I see a man do that, right? It's just, everything has to be so precise. I work in hospitality, so people are very snazzy dressers because they have to be snazzy dressers. And I'm reminded actually of my big boss, my boss's boss, and he kind of looks like this actually, even down to the silver hair and beard. Very snazzy dresser. So somebody very, I see this gregarious, very outgoing, put together, power player, very coiffed, like all their facial hair is in check, everything is in check with this person. So it doesn't have to be a man. King of Pentacles is divine masculine energy. Doesn't have to describe a man at all. But what I do specifically see is somebody who's a good dresser, somebody who presents themselves very confidently to the world. One, by the way they dress, but also by the way they act. King of Pentacles is not just abundant financially, but also very well connected, very secure in their personality. They very generous as well, you know, kind of able to be there for other people, calm, mature energy. So, you know, if there's somebody in your life that fits that description, I feel as though they are, I don't know, with these circles here, it's like kind of coming onto the scene. Bam, here I am. Coming onto the scene. It's almost like I see this circle thing as like a portal, and it's like they've emerged from this portal. Here I am. It could be a family member that you haven't seen for a while. Maybe they went off to make their fortune. They've come back a new person. Spirit is specifically showing me, wow, this is such a specific example. There is a movie with Ryan Reynolds, which I know he's problematic, but he's an actor, right? He's an actor. He was in a movie called Just Friends. Important message. Whenever I hear the emergency response vehicles, Spirit wants you to listen to this part in particular. So in the movie Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds and Anna Faris and other people, the whole point of that movie, it's stupid. It's a stupid premise, but man, it makes me laugh. He is an awkward high school kid, falls in love with the head cheerleader, I don't know. And of course they're like best friends, but she doesn't look at him as a romantic figure, right? Because he's awkward, and he's, you know, this trope, which is also problematic, that he's overweight and all this stuff. Good person, loves her to death, but he just can't, he can't kick it with her. He doesn't have, she doesn't see him that way. He goes away and he kind of promises himself he's gonna make something of himself. And when he comes back, when he grows up, he's Ryan Reynolds, right? Fit as a fiddle, this record exec, very powerful. And then he comes back to his hometown. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to ever go back to his hometown, but he has to for reasons. And everybody's very impressed. They can't believe it's him. They don't even recognize him. And yet, while he's in his hometown, it's almost as if he reverts back to being that awkward teenager again. Because he sees that girl that he had feelings for, right? So there's something to it. It's like somebody coming back from the past that is making an impression on you. And perhaps you are the one who kind of has this dynamic of, it's not to say you're awkward or anything like that, Pisces, but it's like you're reverting back to the person you were when you last saw this person, right? So it's like seeing old high school friends and, you know, maybe they were a bad influence and then you went off and you lived your life and now you're just this responsible adult. You come back home, you're around the same group of friends and they're still up to no good. And somehow they kind of, you know, bring you back into the fold no matter how reluctant you are. So there's something to that. I feel like there's this push and pull, this like fighting energy of you trying to assert your own agency and autonomy in opposition to this person. It's not necessarily like they're a bad person or anything, but maybe they intimidated you when you were younger. Maybe you intimidated them. I don't know. But there's this dynamic between you and them that is problematic, I think, because the next card out is the card I see as you, Emperor in reverse. Now, it's like Pisces has attained a whole level of status and influence and, dare I say, power. It doesn't have to be power, but just this level of like, I've made something of myself. I've worked hard on my career, my family, my finances, my projects, my business, etc., etc. I've worked really hard on that. I earned it. But when faced with this energy, now again, it doesn't have to be masculine, and person, it doesn't have to be a man, it just can be divine masculine energy. When I'm around this person, they make me feel small. Emperor in reverse. This loss of control, this loss of status, this loss of confidence. That's what the Emperor in reverse signifies to me. And in the tarot, the Emperor is Major Arcana number 4. Anytime I talk about Major Arcana, these are big divinely guided energies. That's why it's your reading. So I assign you to this character because it's the most, technically it's the most powerful one. It's the strongest one. And I really feel like it's your energy, but in reverse. In the tarot, the Emperor holds the power of all of the kings of the tarot. So not just this king, but the other 3 as well. So if this card was in the upright, it doesn't matter how well dressed this king is, he doesn't compare to the Emperor in terms of influence. He doesn't even touch the Emperor. It's a good position, but it doesn't touch the Emperor. So the card being in reverse here, it shows me that like this person intimidates you, or whomever I'm talking to, right? Take it as it resonates. Maybe you are this character and there's somebody else here. Just take it as it resonates. This is the dynamic I see. This Emperor who has every right to, you know, kind of toot their own horn or feel confident or whatever, very intimidated by this character. That's a dangerous thing sometimes, right? Because it involves ego. Like, let me just give you an example, right? I'm gonna be 48 this year. Wait, am I gonna be 48 this year? You know how sometimes you forget how old you are? Am I gonna be 48 this year? Yes, I think so. Yes, I'm gonna be 48. So, anyway, almost 50, right? Like, I've lived some life. I've experienced some things, a lot of things. And this would be like the equivalent of me being intimidated by a 30-year-old that is making like $500,000 a year and just looks fantastic and, you know, loved by all and like whatever. It's like that would be the equivalent of me being intimidated by that person. I mean, for me, I would probably just admire that person. These are not the kinds of things that usually intimidate me because they're all superficial, but important. But, you know, I'm intimidated by other things like people who are world travelers. Ooh, that intimidates me because I'm such a homebody, right? I'm a Cancer. This is how it works. Anyway, not about me. So it's this sense that, you know, there's somebody here that, and perhaps it's a family member, like a cousin, somebody who you care about, but somebody who you are perhaps separated from in some way. Like, you don't feel like you can approach them. Like, they're all kind of in their own bubble here and you feel on the outside. I'm going to get a clarifier for the Emperor. Why is the Emperor intimidated? The Lovers and the Knight of Wands in reverse. Maybe this person is in a relationship. The Lovers is number 6 of the major arcana, Gemini energy. Could be dealing with a Gemini or an Aries or a Capricorn. This one's Sagittarius. Knight of Wands is somebody who fly by the seat of their pants, kind of a player, kind of you know, really passionate, but doesn't really have a lot of staying power. But the card is in reverse. So this I asked, why is the Emperor intimidated? There could be this situation where there's somebody in your life that has a partner who is very, very upstanding, a partner who's wonderful, right? Not, you know, flash in the pan. They're just really like they've met their soulmate, right? That's just an example. The Lovers also can talk about a choice point, something that speaks to the heart space. So could be somebody who has a business that they are just absolutely enthralled about. They're so excited. It's how they created their stability, and they just love it. They're so devoted to their business. It's not a flash in the pan. It's not a gimmicky thing. It's a real solid endeavor. They're so proud of it. The whole family's proud of it, right? Take it as it resonates, but it's that energy. It's authentic. It's true. It speaks to the heart space. The Emperor is intimidated by that. Or maybe not intimidated, but wishes that something was working out like that too. We end here with the Queen of Swords in the reverse. To me, this simply says, you know, like I'm not even trying to entertain this anymore. I don't, you know, Queen of Swords is a character who seeks the truth, knows the truth, but seeks the truth from you, looks for the answers from you. Even though she already knows them, she wants to know that you know them. She wants to confirm that you know them. To me, the Queen of Swords is always in opposition to another person. Anytime I see the Queen of Swords, it's like she's putting you on the spot. She knows who she is. She's been through a lot. When this card is in reverse, it's like, I'm not even curious. I don't even care. So there could be a situation where you're just like, why am I dreaming about this person? I don't want to think about them anymore. Could be painful, could be annoying. Spirit is saying your time will come. This is advice from Spirit. 3 of Wands in reverse. 3 of Wands is a waiting card. And Spirit is saying, Pisces, what are you worried about? Your time will come. Well, really, they're kind of saying your time is now. It's almost like, oh, Spirit, I just heard somebody's, it's like an I'll show them. You gotta be careful with that. When we channel the energy of motivation for ourselves, you want to really look at what is fueling your motivation. Are you trying to prove something to somebody? I'll show you. I'll show all of you what I'm made of because you underestimated me. I'll show you. Now, is it that? Or is it, I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to follow my intuition. I'm going to follow what feels right. Pisces, there's no stronger sign. There's no sign stronger with a stronger intuition than Pisces. So following the intuition, but really making sure that your motivation is in check. That, oh, fire truck just drove by. Putting out the fire, putting out the, what's lighting the fire, rather. This is a Wands card. So what is stoking the fire? What is stoking your impulses and your creativity and your inspiration? The Spirit wants to remind you to try and make sure that it's coming from you yourself, and not this need for constant external validation. That's your reading, Pisces. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Pisces.